Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd. The college football season kicks off this Saturday, and we are talking right now with Steve from collegefootballwinning.com, returning guest, guy who's been handicapping games with us for many years now, and one of our recent segments of videos that we've been doing with him is previewing coaches' tendencies, various coaches' tendencies with various teams to think about what to look for in the upcoming season. And right now we're going to take a look at the coaching tendencies, the ATS tendencies of Nick Saban for Alabama. And a very interesting team. Of course, last year, Alabama was great against the spread. They covered 8 out of their first 10 games. But 2 years ago, they weren't that great to start the season, ATS. And then, of course, the year before that, they were actually a terrible bet over their first 10 or 11 games. So it'll be interesting what Steve can tell us about what to look for in terms of Nick Saban's ATS tendencies when coaching Alabama. What can you tell us, Steve?
Thank you, Peter. Yes. Just as you said, this is, I'm focusing on Nick Saban's betting tendencies since he's been at Alabama, nowhere else, so this does not include LSU or anywhere else where he was previously. So just 10 years at Alabama, and this is an extension of a book I wrote before the start of last season, the 2016 season, called The Betting Black Book, and I focused on 10 years of betting data for all at the time, the 128 active FBS college football coaches. So this is a deep dive along that, or in that same vein. Overall, Nick Saban as head coach at Alabama against the spread is 75-62. So 54.74%. This is a good time to remind viewers that the break-even point in the standard college football betting world of you have to bet 11 to win 10 is 52.38%. So when you hear me quoting a betting statistic or percentage that's higher than 52.38, then you know it's profitable for the bettor. Anything lower than that, and the bettor's losing money. So Nick Saban has been profitable at Alabama despite the expectations being perennially high for him and for Alabama. In fact, Alabama has been in the preseason, the AP preseason top 3 the past 8 consecutive seasons, and yet he has still managed to be a profitable against the spread coach. Pretty incredible. So let's look for some consistent tendencies. That's what the book was trying to do for bettors. Looking for consistent tendencies, finding meaning in these numbers. So I'm going to give you 3 what I think are compelling betting tendencies for Nick Saban and his Alabama team. And I'm going to give you 1 bet against tendency. So here we go. So 3 for, 1 against. Number 1 to bet on. And it would be very interesting for viewers to dig up the video I did with you preseason last year, Peter, because when you see that, these are almost the exact same points. And you'll say, you're pretty much repeating what you said last year. And look how we did last year. I'll show you at the end of this video how we did with these same points. Away games, defined as games played in another team's home stadium or a non-bowl, non-playoff neutral site game. Alabama, under Nick Saban, has beaten the spread in those away games 61.11% of the time. That includes going 5-1 against the spread in that category last season. 5-1. Conference games, so in SEC games, Nick Saban at Alabama has been very profitable. 57.47% overall. That's 87 games. But that only tells part of the impressive story, Peter. Nick Saban has not had an unprofitable against the spread SEC season since 2010. His ATS record in SEC games over the past 6 seasons is 35-19. That's 64.81% against the spread. So that's in conference. Point number 3. Nick Saban has his teams prepared to start each season. I said this last year. I'll say it again. The Tide have gone 9-1 against the spread in that first game of the season since Nick Saban has been their coach. So past 10 seasons, 9-1. Only lost once. Last year, as you know, they absolutely destroyed USC and crushed the spread. It was one of Nick Saban's greatest overall against the spread victories. So first game of the season. Finally, okay, a bet against. So I said I'd give you 1 bet against. Bet against Alabama, I said this last year too. When they're huge favorites. In game where Alabama is favored by at least 35 points. And that's happened 21 times since Nick Saban has been the head coach at Alabama. His against the spread winning rate is just 33.33%. So when you're betting against him, you're winning 2 out of every 3 of those games. That's exactly what the winning percentage was in 2016. So it just repeated itself perfectly in 2016. So if I'm going to summarize these points, Peter, bet on Saban's Tide when they're away. Bet on the Tide in SEC games. Bet on Nick Saban's Alabama team in the first game of the season. However, you and I recorded a video earlier this summer, Peter, and we were talking about Jimbo Fisher, and I was telling you what a great first game of the season coach he was.
Yes.
So it happens. He's one of the best. Nick Saban is the best. So we're looking at 2 coaches that are fantastic in this category. So you might want to just back off of that for this reason. You might want to back up if you're looking at just great coaches, first game of the season. I wouldn't choose to bet on this game just because Nick Saban's on one sideline or Jimbo Fisher's on the other. So I'd kind of throw out this category. But this should be noted. When do you bet against Nick Saban? As we said, summarizing, when they're huge favorites, at least 35 points. So if the viewers followed this advice last season in toto, if they followed the advice from this preview from last season, when it came to Nick Saban, they would have gone 8-3 against the spread based on these tendencies. If they just followed this 8-3, that's 72.73% against the spread. So hopefully it's consistent again this season.
Hopefully it is. Steve from collegefootballwinning.com. Thanks so much. Love all your insights. Every video we do. Collegefootballwinning.com is your website. What can people find there?
At collegefootballwinning.com, Peter, it is a company that was founded on the idea of focusing only on college football betting, and that betting analysis has been done through the use of algorithmic sets, and we call that our formula. So when it's an algorithmic betting recommendation, we call it our formula. Our formula, the lifetime of the formula, collegefootballwinning.com, is 60.16% against the spread. Last season, it was 62.26% against the spread. So in part, because of that great success of the formula, we have narrowed our clientele. So unfortunately, right now we're not open to new clients. But the best way to join us is to join our waiting list. So go to collegefootballwinning.com, join our waiting list. There are also some other interesting resources, articles, and videos you'll find for college football betting at collegefootballwinning.com.
All right, Steve. Thanks so much. Talk to you again very soon.
Thank you, Peter. Talk to you soon.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.